Hello, everyone. I'm Deanne Castro, Creative Memories Advisor in Bakersfield, California. And I have a really fun page idea for you today. Oh, and welcome to my channel. I forgot that part. I used a idea that I'd seen. Lanita Medina has done this before. So I decided to use it and use the fun new springtime Saray paper and also show you one with a different page. So let's go ahead and get to work. Okay, so this is a card. This was a bonus card that you could make using this Springtime Saray Project Playbook. This playbook is usually available when a new collection comes out, and you can get this if you buy the whole collection all at once. You can also get it with a download from your advisor's website for I think it's $2. So I didn't make the card, but this is the idea of the card. This is a 4¼ by 5½ regular greeting card. So I went ahead, adapted the sizes to make it into a full 12 by 12 page. So these pieces are 5½ by 6½. These pieces are 5½ by 4½. So then I have it on two different pieces of cardstock to be able to just kind of have it stand out a little bit. And I also cut the back. I just made a frame out of that bottom cardstock so that it would save paper just a little bit. So this was the first one I did. And this one was very simple. I used the border punch that came with this collection, and then it was complete. So I changed it up a little bit. This one is done with the same 5½ by 6½ inch pieces, but then these pieces I cut and then separated out just a little bit. And I'm going to do that today. I'm going to be very similar to this one, and we're going to show you how to do that. Then I also did it with the paper pack that came in the first secret box this year. The secret box currently is sold out, but it will be back if you want to purchase it starting in April. About the time that the secret box #2 comes out, they'll also come back with #1 because it did sell out. And it also came with this exclusive border maker cartridge. So this is really cool. I'm going to use this coming up in a border that I made to show you in another video. And I don't know if you can tell, it's a different color. It's a blue color. So it just means that it's exclusive. It's only available in that secret box. We're going to have 3 more come out. And if you purchase all 4 secret boxes, then you'll be able to purchase the 5th one. And they'll all have an exclusive border maker cartridge in it. Okay, so this is that paper. I just think it's so pretty. So this is the 5½ by 6½ inch pieces. This one was the 4½, 5½ across by 4½, but I cut it in individual ½ inch pieces. So I didn't have any separation in here. So I just cut them all in pieces and then put them all together in a ½ inch. But I just love how that one came out. So let's get to work. The first thing I want to do is I think I'm going to have this purple, it's lavender cardstock on the bottom. So to cut out the frame, this on our cutting system, this is where the blade actually cuts. So this cartridge is 2 inches wide. So from here in the middle where it cuts to the front of the cartridge is 1 inch. And it makes it really easy that way to measure from the front of the cartridge along this line right here with all of the different measurements. So I'm going to put the cardstock in right here, and I'm going to line it up at 1 inch. Okay, then I'm going to put this cartridge, the very end of this cartridge, on the 2-inch mark, which means it will start cutting at the 1-inch mark. So it'll cut 1 inch down. Then I'm going to cut it down and I'm going to stop the end of the cartridge at the 12-inch mark. And that way it'll only cut 1 inch from the edge. So let's see if I can put this up here. So see how here it's only cutting 1 inch from the edge of the paper. So you're not cutting all the way through. So now you're going to turn it and you're going to put it this edge, turn it, was at 90 degrees. Put this edge at the 1 inch mark again. Start at the 2 inch at the end of the cartridge, cut down to the 12. And you can see we're cutting this frame out right there. Okay, so I'm going to do that with the other 2 sides. And then we can have the rest over cardstock to use for like photo mats or on another project. Okay, and the last side, line it up at the 1 inch, line this at 2 inch, and go down. So you can do this with a lot of different measurements. If you wanted a 1.5 inch frame, you would start the cartridge down at the 2.5 inches. So if you lined it up at 2.5 inches, then it would start cutting down at the 1.5 inch mark. Okay, so there we go. We're done with this piece. And it's not going to matter that it's not cut perfect because we're going to be covering up most of this anyway. I'm going to put that off to the side. Now I'm going to take the other piece of cardstock. I'm using blue. And I'm going to trim 1/2 inch off the right edge here. Doesn't matter what edge it is, just any edge. Cut 1/2 inch off here. And then also turn it 90 degrees and cut another 1/2 inch off. And that's going to make it 11.5 inches square. So that's going to allow the bottom piece of the lavender paper that we cut to show up around the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and put that together right now before we cut any more. Okay, so I'm going to put the adhesive on the lavender paper. And since 1/4 inch is going to be showing all the way around, I'll put the adhesive in from that amount, just kind of anywhere along those areas, just so it doesn't go all the way to the edge and show up, because we're going to have about 1/4 inch all the way around showing up of the lavender. Okay, so now I'm going to take the blue cardstock and I'm going to just eyeball this to where all the edges are about 1/4 inch from the edges. Put it down just a little. There we go. Okay, it's not exactly perfect, but that's okay. It's really close. Okay, so I'm going to move this piece out of the way. The next thing we're going to want to do is cut those 5.5 by 6.5 inch pieces. So I'm using some coordinating paper. I'm hoping this is going to come out and it's not going to be too busy, but I think it's going to be all right. So I'm going to cut this piece at 5.5 by 12. And I'm going to cut another one at 5.5 by 12. Okay, and now I'm going to stack these two and cut them together and cut them at 6.5 inches. So move that one out of the way. Okay, so now I've got my two 5.5 by 6.5 inch pieces. Now I'm going to take this one And I'm going to cut this one as well at 5.5 inches. So this is going to be the width across. Now I'm going to take it and cut it at 4.5. And cut it one more time at 4.5. Okay, so we're not going to be using these pieces, so I'll get them out of the way. All right, so since it's going to be 5.5 inches across this way, I'm going to stack this. And you can cut these at 1/2 inch. You could cut them at 3/4 of an inch. Either way, it may not come out exact unless you have it stacked right next to each other. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these, but then leave a little bit of space between it to make it look maybe like a window or like mirrors along the walls. Um, like if you cut a photo that way. So I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch. It's not going to come out even, but that's okay because by the time you get your pages on your pictures on your page, it's not going to matter. So I want to keep these separate. So I'm going to put the bottom piece up and top piece bottom because I want to keep these in order. This is going to be 3/4 of an inch. Okay. This piece on the top and bottom. I'm kind of backwards, but that's all right. At the top down further than I do the bottom. Okay, line it back up 3/4 of an inch. This one goes here, this one goes here. Another 3/4 of an inch. This one goes here because I want to keep the colors together so it will be the same papers going across. Another 3/4. And another 3/4. Okay, so now since I've done this once before, I know that it's not going to take another full 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to cut this one kind of at about maybe 1/2 inch, no, a little bit less than that, probably 3/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay because like I said, we're going to put photos on the top of it anyway. I'll hold it down, make sure it stays put. Okay, and then this one goes on the bottom and this one goes on the top. Okay, so we'll have a little bit left over. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way here. And I'm going to put these on the page. Now you can put these anywhere you want. You can put them up here and down here, or you can put them down here and up here. It doesn't really matter. This is the way I've been doing it. So maybe I'll flip-flop it. Maybe I'll do it this way. It's really not going to matter a whole lot. All right, put some adhesive on this. And these are going to be about 1/8 of an inch in from the edge of the blue cardstock. And this one's going to do the same thing. I like using the regular tape runner adhesive on most things because I find that I personally use way too much repositionable adhesive. And I want to try to save my money as much as I can. So here we go. Okay, have that approximate. Might want to move the other one in a little bit. Kind of right here. So maybe I'm going to move this one in just a little bit. Because I kind of want the same distance from the edges as I do here in the middle. Okay, good enough. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to line them up according to how I cut it. So see that the pattern is still matching, but I'm going to space this out just a little bit here. Give it just a fun little effect. And this will help me know kind of how far apart these are going to need to be to get them lined up like right here. So I'll move over a little bit. Get them kind of about the same distance apart from each other. Does not have to be perfect because actually you're going to be putting photos somewhere on these anyway. So I just think it makes a really fun look because it looks like a full piece of paper, but it's got, little dividers in it. Okay, so I am going to be using the repositionable on these in case I don't get them quite where I want them and I can move them. I'm going to line this up here, about right there, and get it straight down. It looks pretty straight, pretty even. And just continue with the other pieces. So it's like 1/16 of an inch apart from each other. But you can play with it. That's why I'm using repositionable, is just to be able to get them about the same distance apart. If I don't get them exact, it's not the end of the world. See how pretty that is? I just love how separating them out like this with a really contrasting color underneath makes it really pretty. Move that over just a little bit. Now, if you wanted, just to see to make sure you got them straight across, you can like put a ruler right here and line it up. And then that way you can put these edges right up against that. But you know what? By the time we're done, it's really not going to matter. With photos on top of it, maybe a journaling box. As you guys all know, that I keep saying, it's really important to make sure that you journal on your pages. At least put the who, what, when, where. And that way, looking back, after a few years, we kind of forget what's going on. And then that way we can remember a whole lot better what we were doing and who we were with. So as you can see, these aren't exactly, I wanted to get this all the way to the edge of this one. So I'm going to adjust a couple of these just a little bit. And that's better. Okay. So, I think that's looking so pretty. Is that fun? I just love that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I think this one needs to go here, the way the paper is. So this way, this was why I kept them in order, so they would go back in order here as I'm putting them on the page. And this one. Okay, so I'm going to quickly adhere this, and I will be right back with you. Okay, there we go. Those are all on there. Doesn't that look pretty? I love how this looks. Okay, so next, we're going to be putting a sticker or a border, like a laser cut border in here, and then just add a couple of stickers. But before I do that, well, I can get one thing on there. So where's my stickers? Okay, so here's the stickers. I'm going to put those aside for just a minute. And here are the laser cut borders. Aren't these pretty? And you get 2 of each one. So this is so cool. So we can pick something that we think might look pretty on this. Let's see, there's some green in here. And I think having those leaves will be nice. So let's see. It will go out a little bit further. Let's see if I do that, it'll go to the edge, but that's right. I don't really want to cut right in the middle of that leaf. So I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to go in, around, around, and then I'll curve this up just a little bit so it doesn't look quite so weird. Cut off this little piece here and trim this little piece right here. Come on. There we go. Okay, so I can put that one there. Trim this up a little bit. I think I had it going this way here, and this way here. Okay, so I'm going to adhere these down. And these have little foam squares in them. So they are, raised up just a little bit. I'm going to use the regular adhesive on here. And I may need, I need a little bit of it. Actually, I think I'm going to put a little foam square right here at the end, because where I cut it, it doesn't have adhesive. There we go. Now I can put this right here. And this one, okay, that foam square is right there, so that'll work. And this one right here. Okay. Oh, I just think that's so pretty. Oh, I have tape on my finger. All right, then I'm going to get some kind of placeholders for photos out here. And so this one can kind of go here. This one can go here. I do not know what page 27 was, but that's okay. And then we can use, let's see. Oh, I have circles. Oh, wouldn't that be pretty? A couple of circles right here. And I'm going to off-center this one a little bit because I want to leave a spot for some journaling on the page. Isn't that pretty? So then we can go back to the stickers and see what fits in between here. Or we can put some stickers up here or here. Let's see, maybe one of these sayings. Find joy in the little things. Will that fit there? Let's see. Yeah. because I'll have to go on one of the photos. So I'm not going to hit it down, quite that far, that much, because I'm going to have to end up putting photos underneath it, but that's okay. And then we can put some other flowers. Let's see, I need some that look going to stand out. So let's try these. We'll put one right here. And maybe these yellow ones right there. And there we go. And the page is done. Isn't that pretty? I just love how that just adds a little bit of dimension. I really like the first page. The first one was really easy. Where's the first page? So see, but I just think it gives it a little bit of different dimension for my photos and my pages. So you guys choose. Let me know which one you like. Do you like the easy one, the more simple one? Do you like this one or this one has them going the opposite direction, going up and down, or even with a completely different collection? So let me know what you think. And we'll be done for today. So thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. If you like the paper, go ahead and go to your consultant's website or get a hold of your advisor. We call each other advisors these days. Consultants were the old term. I keep going back to that old term. But anyway, so thank you so much for watching. And if you don't have an advisor, you can click on the link below and click on my website and check out everything. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.